Ananda, the questions of enlightenment, transcendence are things that are not so common in the West. How do they relate in Buddhism, especially to the sense of consciousness?
Yes. First, the idea of enlightenment is the same as the idea of transcendence. The word lokottara is above the earth, above this world. Supramundane is used to explain all those consciousnesses which are connected with the process of liberation through enlightenment. So, we speak in terms of so many different consciousnesses in Buddhism as 89, with the last category called the supreme, further expanded. Each one of them is divided by, there was multiplied by 4 more. So that is a way by which they try to go deep into the question that is consciousness which is connected with each one of the levels of enlightenment. The Buddhism believes that a person goes through this in 8 stages. First is a preparation to get into the stream. You get into the channel in which you are going to be led to the... And that is where you try to get 3 of the fetters that bind you to this life out of your system. And the foremost is self-view, your egoism, self-arrogance, and the things that bind you to the concept that you are an eternal individual and therefore everything is yours. The center of the universe is you, that kind of concept. So removing that self-view is the first step into the process of developing your consciousnesses in the direction of transcendence or the supramundane level. Then you also had to get rid of perplexity. You cannot go in this path if you are not sure that you are on the path and that's going to lead you. And the third is you must give up your reliance on mere ritual, rites and ritual. So when the person has purified himself with regard to these 3 fetters, then he has reached the first goal of enlightenment, which is called the entry to the stream. From there, you develop again a matter of consciousness to the next level of consciousness in which from your the system, you suppress, not eliminate, lust and hatred, or lust and malice. And then you come to a stage which is connected with your process of rebirth or rebecoming, and is called the once returner. He is possible to be reborn in this world one more time and then will ultimately attain enlightenment. Once this lust and hatred are completely eliminated, you come to a third level which is called a non-returner. And a non-returner is one who is going to those higher heavens, including the 4 heavens with a body where there is no body but only the mind. And then from there reach the ultimate end of suffering and the ultimate enlightenment. There are 5 more fetters that had to be removed in the last stage. Your desire to be born in a world of form. Your desire to be born in an immaterial world. Restlessness of your consciousness, of your mind. The pride or arrogance or conceit. And last of all, ignorance. Ignorance. It's called the enlightenment because the last fetter to be removed is ignorance. So once ignorance, again you see it is a complete purification of the consciousness, because removing ignorance is having removed all those, for the 10 elements, you have no longer the desire, you are no longer the craving, you are no longer greed, you are no longer anger, you are no longer stupidity, and you have got a pure consciousness. And that is the way that we see the end of one's suffering, and that is enlightenment.
And that's a process that takes place in this life.
It can take place in one's life in a very brief time or a long time.
And it could take place over subsequent rebirths and re-deaths.
Yes, that's how it happens.
And ultimately, when you have enlightenment, that is indeed the personification of transcendence.
Yes, and you have reached nirvana. You're gone above those factors that are called mundane, and that is transcendence. So transcendence is understood in Buddhism as lokottara, above the worldly state, but a purely one of purifying your consciousness.